Now righto, we're just recording. Okay. Right, we're live. Okay, thanks for coming along today, Peter.
That's all right, Heath. Not a problem.
So while we are here, we're having a quick meeting. This task I'm doing now, we're just going to trial some assessment tools that I've done. So I'm just going to explain how it works. So I've completed 3 assessment tools. So what are assessment tools? It pretty much explains, what I'm teaching some younger people, well, 16 to 25, how to fence, farm fencing, how to construct farm fencing. So it's conventional fencing and electric fencing. Now I've got three assessment tools. Now 2 are for certificate 2, so they're usually at 16, 17, 18 age group, so they definitely haven't done any fencing before. And I've got 1 for the Cert 3 students, and they are, most commonly 18 to 25. They've probably done a little bit. They don't need a lot of supervision. They can go off and fence on their own. So how these work, pretty much I've done 3 assessment tools. It's pretty much, if I went and taught these at TAEass, it's what I would pick up, I would look at, I go, okay, righto, here's the assessment tool. What do I have to do? Here's the instructions. What materials I need? What equipment do I need? Yep, materials, equipment. What's the plan? How long will it take? What are the assessments? And technically, anybody should be able to pick these assessment tools up, and who's a qualified teacher, and pick them up and go, and with some help, like people actually go and get. You don't have to go and look for fencing gear, but people do help you with that. But anyone who's a trainer assessor like me will nearly be a trainer assessor. Will be able to go and, as long as they've fenced before, go and teach these candidates how to fence. Okay, so basically what you're doing is you're going to read this assessment tool, 3 of them, and just check that it makes sense. Nothing looks a bit funny, that you could, that someone could read this, get a TAFE up the road, and teach these students how to fence. So conventionally, and also an electric fence. And it should make sense.
Is the electric fence attached to this internal fencing, or is it electric fence on its own?
So the electric fence is on its own.
Right.
So that's in the plan, but the conventional fence is just a basic farm fence, which is your typical hinge joint, 7 by 90 by 30, probably say a bottom and top selvage,
right,
wire and
top bar.
Yeah,
right.
Yep. So that's our basic, very common farm fence.
Right. And if the fence is in an area where it's going to get hammered with livestock, does it need a belly wire or just the top and bottom selvage?
So I think just for this example,
just top and bottom.
Top and bottom, but I do mention in the theory, I do mention a belly wire to them for kangaroos or even sheep.
Yeah, where it's getting hammered.
Yeah. So I'm not too fussed with the belly wire, but I guess we haven't got long to do these. I've only got 3 hours, which you'll see in those assessment tools to put the fence up. Now on that, we have to actually, what they have to do is, when they go to the fencing point at TAFE, the fence is already up, so they've got to pull it down and just roll the hinge joint up, and you can cut the clips and
pull the top and bottom selvage out.
Put it in a
on a wire
spinner.
Yeah.
and they can't leave can't leave a mess, then they've got to put it back up again.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they leave it up. And then what happens, down the track, another group, another class comes along.
Yeah.
They can do the same thing. They can pull it down and put it back up again.
Right. Yep.
So how does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that's pretty straightforward, Heath. But
Yep.
yeah. But then I'm talking from experience, I guess.
Yeah. So Peter's obviously been a farmer for many years.
Yeah.
Worked with lots of.
Done plenty of fencing, internal and boundary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And they are different. So.
Yeah.
So you'll be obviously very well versed in fencing.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to look at these and say, okay, I obviously you've been around fencing for a long time. Is this appropriate? Could someone pick this up, a teacher who's done a bit of fencing, who can teach it? Can someone pick this up and potentially go and teach these students and candidates how to fence? Is anything missing? Is that fence contextual? Is it contextualized? Is that fence sort of pretty consistent with most fences around Dubbo and the Central West? So things like that.
Yeah. No, that's right. Obviously, fences types change a bit. If it's just a straight cattle property, maybe they want just a 3-barb fence or 4-barb fence.
Yeah.
And they don't have the 7-strand or the plain wire, it's just all barb and star pickets.
Yeah.
And steel ends on an all cattle property.
That's right.
Sheep property, of course, different. You need the 7-strand.
So I guess we at Dubbo we try to. I guess our way of thinking is, we're in a mixed farming area, farming sheep and cattle.
Yeah.
So I guess we've decided to use a hinge joint.
Yeah.
Because it's it can control sheep and cattle. And it's pretty consistent around here.
Yeah, and most economical too. I think the 7-strand.
Yeah.
And most economical. You can put a lot more into a fencing if you think it need be, but obviously if you've got vermin and wild pigs and the like, you probably got to put a bit more wire into the fence.
Yeah.
But no.
So I guess on that, with these assessment plans, I try to give them just a basic fence as we've discussed and explain the concepts.
Yeah.
But in the theory also, we go through and explain why a bottom and top selvage, a belly wire, barb, and also electric fences. There are a lot of variations of electric fences. I went to Dunedoo last week and looked at a western fence, and it's that fence. It had 10. There was 10 planes, and there was 4 hot wires. But that's more to keep pigs out. Yeah. Keep sheep and cattle in to keep pigs out. But it's I guess that costs a bit of money. Not everybody's going to make an electric fence like that.
Yeah, you just mentioned the plain wire. I have heard out in the back country where they put an electric wire along just above about a foot above the ground, and the pigs start squealing before they hit the fence and keep squealing till they get out the other side. Yeah. And once they're through the other side on the other side, they stop squealing. So, no. I guess you got to contend with that.
And I actually on that I actually learned last week at this this demonstration that so pigs with the electric fence, they can actually sense the voltage. So about a foot away from the fence.
Yeah, that's right. When they start squealing,
they've got to touch an earth wire as well to get zapped. But humans, we're so used to phones and electricity, we can be near voltage and just, we don't know the difference because we're so used to it. But pigs are not used to voltage, and they can sense it that far away from a fence. Yeah, about a foot away. That's how electricity works. Yeah. It whirls around the wire, and they squeal.
And horses will come up to electric fence, and they'll just put their whiskers near the fence, and if they feel that electric voltage in the fence, they can feel it with their whiskers. Not even touch the fence. With their whiskers.
Isn't that smart? And the head goes away. Yeah. That's very smart. So, but that's good. This is all anyway. you've got lots of knowledge with fences, so this is good for you to look at this plan. Anyway, there's a trial and feedback form here, and if once you read these tools with the different instruments, there's an assessment instrument, a questioning, that's like they have to answer some questions. A questioning tool. There's a observation instrument. So that's just there are some skills I have to observe them doing. So that's actually out on the fence. And there's another instrument, production of an item. In short, just a product instrument that is them actually physically putting the fence up. There's a few things they have to do there. So anyway, you'll be able to read this. The tools, the overall assessment plan, I guess, is the tool, which is broken down into 3 instruments: assessment, questioning, observation, and a production of an item. So that's 4. Sorry. So
yeah, I guess with students, they'll see the fence up, but over time, they'll see how it works with livestock and whatever.
Yeah.
One thing that's important with students, they need safety equipment on.
Yeah.
And as in goggles and barbed wire mittens when they're handling barbed wire.
Yeah. No, that's right. And that's workplace health and safety, and part of that is the 2010, the Work Health and Safety Act 2010, New South Wales, and the Work Health and Safety Regulation 2017, which has codes of practice such as hazardous manual tasks, those sorts of things. So no, exactly right. And we had a class last 2-3 weeks ago, and there was a young farmer, and I always say wear safety glasses or sunglasses. Just cut a wire, flicks back in the eye.
Yeah.
So this guy was only I think he was 18. He had never worn safety glasses or sunglasses fencing and didn't think of it for safety.
Yeah, right.
I was quite amazed at that.
Yeah, in this day and age.
Yeah.
When especially on farms and what have you, it's been such a big thing since the 90s.
Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s. This safety equipment.
Yeah.
Protective gear, and also really they should be wearing long sleeve shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
To stop getting your skin caught or that.
Yeah.
And sunburn.
Yeah, exactly.
And preferably a hat.
Yeah.
Some wide brimmed hat of some description.
Yeah.
Just to see if you're looking into the sun or whatever.
Yep.
See what you're doing.
I was only reading on the weekend, I think the hole in the ozone is still quite bad at the moment. So that's obviously why we get sunburnt. So that's still a problem.
Yeah.
And that's going to be here for a while. So no, you're right. WHS, that's in the plan. So have a read of that, and with your experience, what sort of what these candidates should be wearing. Just read that and see what you think. So.
Yep.
Okay, so that covers that. Here's the feedback form. That's where you've got a couple of paragraphs to provide any feedback. Any questions you think, Peter, or you're ready to rip into the?
No, rip into it, Heath.
To see how I've done. Trial it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll end it there. Thanks for your time, and
no problem.
We'll get into the trialing the tools right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Thanks, Peter.